Greetings once again, pirates on the high seas. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with another chapter of One Piece, where previously a pre-recorded message via Vegapunk has started to broadcast all across the world, with Vegapunk leaving enough time, 10 minutes specifically, in order for people to fully get set up with visual Den Mushi as well. It's a full-on presentation and everybody's getting ready. It's being broadcasted through the Marines feed. That way they'll have a harder time of getting it to stop. So the countdown has begun. You find that the emperors are seemingly able to telepathically communicate with each other, maybe through the voice of all things, with the others contacting Saturn about his mission to kill Vegapunk. Saturn says that Vegapunk should be on the verge of death, if not dead already, with them realizing that this message was triggered because Vegapunk died. They come to the conclusion that they need to destroy the abovе, where the message is probably being broadcast from. Meanwhile, all across the world, there are those that are hearing Vegapunk's message and setting up, or only hearing it because visual Den Mushi, as Slap so eloquently put, are pricey as all get out. Because of this message, Dragon realizes that Vegapunk might very well be dead. During this time, Luffy is still fighting Kizaru and Saturn. While he does send Saturn flying into a marine ship, with Saturn seemingly down, it's hard to tell with him sometimes, Saturn keeps just coming back. You'd think he was the rubber one. But the elders aren't playing around anymore. They've decided it's time for them to step in and put a stop to Vegapunk's message. So Saturn performs the summoning, and 4 similar circles to the one that Saturn appeared in form all around Saturn and Luffy. It seems the elders have arrived, which was already kind of shocking. And we might very well see their full-on beast forms like Saturn, as he's primarily been in his transformed state ever since he arrived. Seems we're about to get answers about what they look like a lot sooner than I thought. So join me as I find out, won't you? Right, it's One Piece chapter 1110, Starfall. 5 elder stars fall, or they descend. We pick up with Yamato and Momonosuke chilling out in the palace. Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest, Surrogate Pilgrimage Volume 2. I want to travel through Wano like Odin did. Okay, so we're actually going to see Yamato take that journey. Now, my question is, will it be like Jinbei's little side adventure that kind of led us to believe that we weren't going to see Jinbei for a hot minute, only for him to full-on appear in the following story arc? Alright, Black Lightning descends from the heavens onto Egghead. Bluegrass and Doll, riding on the back of a sea beast, take notice of that, with Bluegrass questioning, what in the Marines on the ship are also stunned and murmur amongst themselves, questioning, isn't that what happened when Saint Saturn disembarked earlier? The giant carrying Frankie, Bonnie, Atlas, and Kuma sees it as well, looking to the sky right before he puts them on their ship, with Bonnie saying, I'm worried about the others. Meanwhile, we actually see the Pacifista working alongside the giants, or I guess you could say vice versa, still destroying a myriad of the marine ship, while Dory and Brogy take a few giants deeper and deeper into the center of Egghead. You think they would have arrived by now, considering how big they are. Oh jeez. We then cut back over to Sacred Marijoa, where the room where the Gorosei usually sit is empty, with nothing but a pentagram in the middle of the floor, and a visual Den Mushi that looks like Workuri broadcasting Vegapunk's message, the Chamber of Power, with Vegapunk saying on the video, Why, it's the dream of all mankind. Vega coffee! 1 little speck of this stuff dropped in water, and you've instantly got nice warm coffee. How many minutes left? It's like he's bored with his own presentation. That sounds good, though. Instant hot coffee? Dang. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I know plenty of people who are. Whoa! Cool. Oh, we even get the names. That is wild. Yep, so sure enough, out of the pentagrams come shadows that confront Luffy, who goes, what the? And the shadows take more and more shape, while Vegapunk's message plays, it's not like we're on a strict timer. let's wait 7 minutes or so, and then we'll begin. Not that anyone will be close enough to stop us if they wish. Just a reminder, it's not gonna stop. Meanwhile, as Sanji continues to get Vegapunk further away, he says, gotta get in touch with Nami's group. While Luffy freaks out looking at the 5 elders in their monstrous form, saying, there are 5 monsters now! And we get a full-on readout of the various Gorosei in their monstrous form. Saint J. Garcia Saturn, the Gyuki. Saint Marcus Mars, the Itsumede. Itsumede? Huh. So he was the bird one. Saint Topman Warkiri, the Vangji. Oh, so he is some kind of boar. Saint Ethan Baron Vinashjoro, the Bakotsu, kind of horse-like creature. Almost skeletal horse. And Saint Shepherd Jupiter, a sandworm. It's the most basic one. Then again, if you've seen like Beetlejuice or Dune, these sandworms ain't no joke. So Gyuki is another term for the Uchioni, so a lot of people call that one. Itsumade, a bird with an eerie cry. A Fangji, or a Hokai, 2 heads, rain deity. Bakotsu. That brings up the dude from Inuyasha from the Band of the Seven. Oh god. Yeah, I never really heard of a Bakotsu before. That's wild. Skeletal horde. And then Jupiter's just a sandworm. That's the most basic of basic. The sandworm doesn't really feel like a yokai, though. Are there sandworm yokai? It's more mythical than anything else. Which, I mean, I guess that really does kind of go in line with everything else. Okay then, huh? Oh god. And they all stand revealed. Man, jeez. You know what? Finally looking at this and thinking back to what Sabo saw when he was up before the empty throne, and I gotta note, none of these look like what we saw descending from up near the throne. So, because I heard some people saying that maybe Im didn't have like a transformation, maybe it was one of the elders, but nah, this definitely feels like it's telling us that, no, Im has their own form too. It's weird because Saturn looks like is the only one who seems to retain their human-like appearance, or is that simply because he's still in a hybrid form? Is that not his full beast form, or is it just Saturn who looks still kind of like himself? Because the others don't look anything like their human selves in their beast form, which is kind of wild because usually they retain something. But yeah, even going back, if you didn't tell me who the others are supposed to be, I would never have guessed that this was them. The highest authority of the world government, the 5 elders, all tower over Luffy. It looks like hell. It actually looks like hell. Like you are facing demons from hell. Oh, so Ethan Baron, in his Bakotsu form, neighs, reels back, then races out, comes upon a pacifista, forms his more physical body out of the head of his horse form. Oh, that's why what we saw looked so weird in those silhouettes. He was, but wait, the way he forms, that shows a degree of control over his transformation more akin to Black Maria than a regular zone of any type. Yep, and Ethan Baron's sword. Did we know it was a black blade? We've seen it, right? We've seen it as a black blade. But he cut through one of the PX3s. Oh, did they not see it? Because the Marines are taken aback. They said, huh? The pacifista is down. But it doesn't quite look like he cut it through. And he sliced it and it falls. But is it like he minimized the damage? Oh, he's just going through each pacifista, just slicing each and every one of them down at blinding speed. One of the Marines call out, I just saw something. Someone comes over the radio saying an enormous horse on the shore. Person says it's racing through them. Someone comes back over the radio saying, the pacifista closest to us has shut down. Same over here. And the Marines on the ship say, are they getting slashed? No. It seems to be partially frozen. Suitability like Brooks. Okay, see, that's why the cut seems so weird, because I'm like, wait, something's not right here. The slash isn't working the way I would think. He's next level Brook. And then Marcus Mars as the Itsumade goes flying up to the labophage. Sanji sees this and radios in, saying, "Hello, Nami, Robin, etc." Right. Typical Sanji. "Come in. It's kind of hard to explain what's happening down here, but in short, time's up. Get away from there." Someone responds saying, "Huh? Why? What do you mean?" We then see a member of the Marines examining the pacifistas saying, "Hands-on report. The fallen pacifistas are temporarily disabled due to freezing in the circuits to the brain." Okay, yeah. So he's striking in a way that would do the least amount of damage to the pacifista but still incapacitate them because they still want to use them. Gee, that's insane precision. The Marines cheer, questioning, "Someone did that for us? Now we don't have to waste our strength fighting them." Doberman then calls out, "Kill Bonnie now while we have the opening." Man, I love this shot. You can still see Ethan Barron just going around the coast, slicing down the pacifista, while Marcus makes his way up to the labophage just outside of it. The Marines call out, "Bonnie and the Straw Hats are at the northeast shore. The pacifista's numbers have already halved. It's definitely an ally's work." Man, they show up and they waste no time. They just go right to work. The Gorosei ain't no joke, huh? Sanji radios in saying, "Just run away. A really freaky monster's flying up towards you. Escape at once." While Marcus Mars slams into the barrier around the labophage and an explosion goes off. He probably made it through. Ethan Barron continues to just cut through the pacifista, while Luffy finds himself dealing with three of them. Saturn the Gyuki, Mercury the Fangji, and Jupiter the Sandworm. Saturn is still trying to strike at Luffy with his spider tendrils, and Luffy continues to dodge, but Jupiter reels back and then slams into the ground. Luffy shocked, saying it dove under. An earthworm? Nah, Luffy, it's a sandworm. Meanwhile, back up at the labophage, Usopp says, "Sanji, this is Usopp. Listen, we'd love to get out of here, but Zoro and Jinbei aren't back yet." Jeez, that's still going on? Oh, it looks like they found a way to stop it. Looks like Usopp used his abilities to stop the Sunny. See, you can always count on other members of the Straw Hats to pick up the slack. Usopp tells Sanji, "Brook and Lilith made it through. The ship's fine." Well, Brook tells Lilith, "We arrived safely, didn't we?" And Lilith kicks him, saying, "Only because of Usopp, you fool." Meanwhile, Jinbei is still making his way over to Zoro. Man, Egghead is a lot bigger than I thought it was, because some characters are just in transit for a lot longer than I would have thought. Jinbei says, "I understand the urgency, whether the fight's finished or not. I'm going to drag him back with me." Meanwhile, with Zoro and Lucci, Zoro, did one of his swords get knocked out of his hand? It goes flying upward. Lucci says, "You sense that massive haki too, don't you? Almost makes you want to stop and look." Zoro says it's all over the island. Meanwhile, Sanji radios into Jinbei saying, "Thanks, Jinbei. We need that now." Jinbei, getting closer to Lucci and Zoro's fight, says, "I see him. He's still fighting." Sanji says, "Stupid Mosshead putting the entire crew in danger. He's a liability." And Zoro hears that. Even though he doesn't have a comms, he hears that slander. Takes a moment. Lucci goes in with hand pistol, spots, taking several swipes at Zoro, who just easily starts dodging them. His other sword comes down, he grabs it, puts the Wado in his mouth, says three sword style, Hahava spot hunt, and slices through Lucci. No better motivation than spite. Hahava spot hunt. Hahava? The hell? Hahava? The hell does Hahava mean? What does Hahava mean? Regardless. Yeah, it kind of looks like Lucci is going down. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, I looked at the rest. I looked at the rest of the page. Okay, so Zoro fells Lucci as Jinbei watches. Meanwhile, Luffy is looking down as Jupiter comes bursting out of the ground and just eats Luffy. However, at the same time, enter Dory and Brogy. As they reel back with their weapons, Brogy says, "Did you see that?" Dory says, "I sure did. A familiar sight." Yeah, it's just like when when Dory cut Luffy out of the Brachiosaurus? Dory says, "He's not a man suited for dark places. Here goes." Sunsaw! And they both cut through Jupiter, freeing Luffy, who's laughing, who says, that was close. He looks around saying, huh? It's you guys, the giants. Brogy says, ga-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. It's been too long, Straw Hat. Well, Dory says, we couldn't wait to see you again. Yeah. I really do love that even the giants are just like, we got tired of waiting for you, so we brought Elbath to you. And to bring you to Elbath. Man. Although, I gotta say, Ethan Barron just slicing through those pacifistas like they're nothing. Because the pacifistas are tricky. I mean, where Luffy is at now, they're not the hardest thing to defeat, but it takes him a hot minute. But Ethan Barron's just going slice. Is Lucci really down for the count? It's hard to say, because this will be the second time in this story arc he's been dealt with after a bit of a war of attrition. I wonder if he'll end up fighting Sanji next. It's just like, okay, I couldn't beat the number 2, so I'll have to settle for you. That would be kind of hilarious if Lucci just keeps getting beat by each Straw Hat further down on the totem pole. The things really have gotten tricky, because I have to hope that Sanji gets to where Bonnie is before anyone else does, because the Marines are still targeting her because they know of her authority. You know, even if Ethan Barron does manage to incapacitate all the pacifistas, there's still that fear of Bonnie taking them over again somewhere down the line. And so Luffy and Dorian Brogy versus the 3 Gorosei, Mercury, Saturn, and Jupiter. Mars is making his way up to the Labrophage. Ethan Barron is circling the outside parameter. But yeah, that's the thing. Jupiter, I'm just like, yeah, he got sliced in half, but I very much doubt he's gonna die from that. Especially being a sandworm. You know, if you know anything about worms, it's like, that's not gonna stop a worm. So we still have 7 more minutes before the message plays. So next chapter we should be at 4. The chapter after that, we should be at 1. The chapter following that, the message should be at the very least about to play, and then after that we should get the full message, I think. It's wild though, because the Gorosei's design, because I looked it up, they're not all Japanese mythological creatures. One's Chinese and one's more USA based, or a little bit more in the Western world for sandworms, because most times when you get sandworms, they're not a Japanese thing, they're usually more American based stuff. I wonder what the devil fruits are called. I mean, it's great that we got the actual titles, but why not give us the names of the devil fruit? That's actually kind of weird to me. Yeah, I do believe Marcus Mars got in. I fully believe he got it. If Luffy could do it, Mars could do it. And because of that healing ability, he's in there like it's nothing. But you have the majority of the Straw Hats in there, so it shouldn't be too bad. I don't know. The Gorosei haven't been the hardest to repel, but it's the fact that it keeps coming back so fast too. We'll just have to see. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the ride. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.